I think you're saying you want a negotiated settlement to what's happening in Ukraine.
Right. And we made it. We prepared a huge document in Istanbul.
Putin's appearance in the Carlson interview provides an opportunity to reflect on the dizzying transformation of American politics in recent years. The account of Boris Johnson's role in derailing the negotiations between Moscow and Kiev was of particular interest to journalists. They called Putin's statements on the matter dumbfounding. What did the Russian leader say? Let's get to the bottom of it.
That's it. And then we can agree on some terms. Before you do that, stop. What's easier? Why would I call him? What should I talk to him about? Or beg him for what?
And what messages do you get back?
You're going to deliver such and such weapons to Ukraine? Oh, I'm afraid, please don't.
Britain has given £2.3 billion, £2.7 billion in financial and military aid to Kiev since the start of hostilities in Ukraine. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's office said. The British Prime Minister's office initially reported the delivery of 200 drones as part of the new aid package, but later corrected the figure to 2,000. Putin says the UK in particular is to blame for what is happening, as they also sponsored the bloodshed in Ukraine.
Do you think NATO is worried about this becoming a global war or a nuclear conflict?
At least that's what they're talking about. And they're trying to intimidate their own population with an imaginary Russian threat. This is an obvious fact. And thinking people, not Philistines, but thinking people, analysts, those who are engaged in real politics, just smart people understand perfectly well that this is a fake. They're trying to fuel the Russian threat.
Of course, everything is connected with the fact that the whole world has turned against Ukraine and started to help it. Britain is preparing to provide Ukraine with mine-resistant vehicles and to train Ukrainian troops to work with them. Britain, in addition, plans to expand the training of the Ukrainian military and says that 8 other countries have joined the process. Putin said that the agreement between Russia and Ukraine was concluded and he withdrew troops from Kiev. But later, Ukraine did not want to obey it and continued its resistance. Perhaps at that point it could have been stopped.
He threatened me at one point and said, Boris, I don't want to hurt you, but with a missile it would only take a minute or something like that, jolly. But I think from the very relaxed tone that he was taking, the sort of air of detachment that he seemed to have, he was just playing along with my attempts to get him to negotiate. He said, Boris, you say that Ukraine is not going to join NATO anytime soon. He said it in English, anytime soon. What is anytime soon? And I said, well, it's not going to join NATO for the foreseeable future.
This is where Johnson pointed out the opposite a year ago. Putin warned him back then and told him not to do what you can't do. He said in plain text that he didn't want to hurt him. Then the Minsk agreement was signed, which the parties did not obey.
Well, if somebody has the desire to send regular troops, that would certainly bring humanity to the brink of very serious global conflict. This is obvious. Do the United States need this? What for? Thousands of miles away from your national territory. Don't you have anything better to do? You have issues on the border, issues with migration, issues with the national debt, more than $33 trillion. You have nothing better to do, so you should fight in Ukraine?
The president of Russia emphasizes the right point. No one needs war, neither Britain nor America nor Russia. We simply must not continue to sponsor this theater of war. Our president can't do it, but with Trump coming in, I'm more than confident that we will achieve peace. We have to deal with the border and the crisis within our own country. We don't have to help or sponsor anyone all the time. Tucker opened the eyes of the American people. We learned the truth we wanted to hear. What do you think about that? Write your opinion in the comments and do not forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.